Hey everyone, welcome back to Restore Radiance. I'm Andrea, licensed acupuncturist and Chinese herbalist, and today we have a treat for you, literally. So in the cooler months, many of you are going to be drawn to baking and you'll be using flours and grains. In today's culture, a lot of our grains and our flours actually irritate our digestive system if they're not processed correctly. And what I mean by processed correctly is fermented. By fermenting your foods, you're increasing their digestive enzymes and making it a little easier for them to digest in your body and decrease your chances of a yeast overgrowth, which will inhibit your ability to absorb nutrients in your body. Today we're going to be making a drink that's been celebrated for generations in the Japanese culture called Amazake. Really made and enjoyed during the New Year's celebration. However, nowadays you can find it year-round in various health food stores. I tend to find that the Amazake found in health food stores is a little sugary, so I tend to make my own. Amazake is a fermented rice beverage. However, you can also use it to sweeten dishes. Some of the health benefits of Amazake include it's high in vitamin B's as well as digestive enzymes and fiber. Amazake is cultured with a koji. This is a strain of koji. It's a barley koji that I've chosen to use. I purchased it from culturesforhealth.com. And the way koji works is that koji has been inoculated with a mold, and this is going to help ferment our Amazake drink. Koji is also used in the making of miso and sake, which is a rice wine in Japanese culture and Asian cultures. In fact, if you allow Amazake to ferment longer, or if you allow it to ferment at a higher temperature than 140, which we'll discuss more when we're in the kitchen, it'll turn to sake, or rice wine. So without further ado, let's step into the kitchen and get started. So here we are with the ingredients for making Amazake. As you can see, fairly simple. We have our 3/4 cup of short grain brown rice, about 2 cups of water, and on our left we have about 1.5 cups of our barley koji, which is going to act as our fermenting agent for making Amazake. So to start off with, I'm going to add the 3/4 cup of short grain brown rice with 2 cups of filtered water. I'm going to cook that into a porridge. So I'm going to set it on high until it starts to boil, and then I'll turn it down to low and simmer it until it becomes a porridge, which generally takes around 40 to 45 minutes. A couple of pointers about pots to use. Amazake is traditionally cooked in a pot called a donabi, and donabis are pots made of clay. They can be used on stovetops, and you can cook in them for long periods of time over low heat and they will not crack. I do not have a donabi, so I am substituting with this clay pot that I use for steeping herbal tea concoctions. And if you don't have a clay pot that can withstand stovetop heat, then you can just use a stainless steel cooking pot, or you can use a crock pot with a low temperature reading. Okay, and we are back. Our rice is cooked down into a porridge, so it's time to add our koji, and this is 1.5 cups of koji. We turn off the heat and just allow this to ferment. So in order to have this ferment, we're going to have to keep it at about 140 degrees. So I generally let this strain cool down for about a half an hour, and then I'll turn the heat to warm or low medium and allow it to continue to warm for anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. It depends on where you're at. Sometimes when you're at altitude, things cook a little longer, and when you're at sea level, they tend to have shortened periods of cooking time. So check back in about 4 hours, see if it's sweet, but not too sweet. If you let it go too long, it turns into sake, so just keep that in mind. You don't want it to ferment to the point where it becomes an alcohol. Or maybe you do. But right now we're not going for sake or alcohol, we are going for amazake. And this looks a little dry, so if yours looks a little dry, go ahead and add a little bit of water. I'm going to put in about a cup here. And mix that up. I will be back in 4 hours to check. Okay, so it's been a little under 4 hours, but our strain of amazake seems to have cooked down. So I'm going to stop it here and kind of show you. As you can see, it's a really thick porridge. You can test yours and see if it's sweet enough. This actually is sweet enough for me, so I am going to stop it from fermenting. And you do that by emptying it into a glass jar or container and allowing it to cool down and stick it in the fridge, or you can transfer it, as I'm going to do, because I prefer it to be a little more on the liquid side, and puree it. Into this, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water. And puree it. And then I'm going to store it in a quart-sized jar. So there you have it. This is pureed amazake, and its uses are endless. You can drink it as it is. You can add cinnamon, various herbs, goji berries. You can use it as a baking substitute in your cooking, in cookies or pies, etc. It lasts for about a week before it goes bad in the refrigerator. So have fun experimenting, and I hope you enjoy. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make amazake in your home, and that you create many nourishing dishes for yourself and for your loved ones to increase your health. And if you like this video, like it and share it with your friends. And if you're not on Restore Radiance and you want to receive more great videos like this, or anything I can't put into video, hop on over to restoreradiance.com, put yourself on the list, and we'll be in touch. Thanks. Bye.